Hello, everybody. So, as the two of you may know, I'm doing this in lieu of a friend of mine, Mr. James Big Ol' Words. The game I'm playing tonight is Bionic Commando. It is definitely an acquired taste. You either like it or you don't. I played the crap out of this game as a kid, so I like it. At any rate, for the most part, my plan is to mostly just play the game. What's up next is Creed. Thank you for joining me. I will go through a couple spots and comment on like little ways to skip past stuff, some techniques for going through the game as I go through it. There's a lot of stuff you can do to shortcut the game. I will grind just a little bit at the beginning. This game has an experience system, which we will see. Here's a skippable cut screen telling us to go ahead and break in. You'll note that you start with no health, but for every 5, I don't know what they call it, bullets. Yeah, for every 5 bullets you collect from an enemy drop, well, for the first 5 you get a level, and that gives you a little extra life bar. So at the beginning of the game, the goal is to really kill enemies and get stuff, and don't get hit. Most of the grinding I'll do on this stage, and then for the rest of the game I just kind of do it organically. There's various doors that are locked as you go through the game, so you have to talk to these guys, and they'll unlock the door for you. Generally, I'll just hit every communication room as I go past. If I hadn't done that one, the next door that we're going to climb to in just a second here would have been locked. So I'm playing this tonight on an analog pocket in an analog dock with a PlayStation 5 controller. The PS5 D-pad is not quite as good for this as a Nintendo D-pad would have been. A little harder to roll off the letters, so every so often I'll get stuck. Elevators are for noobs. And this basically is where I'll waste a little bit of time grinding, shooting these guys as they drop from the sky and collecting bullets. So this is my first time live streaming. Looking at the chat's a bad plan. Kudos to all the people that do that and don't die silly deaths. This is basically the insurance part of the game, though. Go through here, get a couple more pieces of life bar, it makes the game a lot easier. And after that, the initial investment pays dividends as you go through the game. So while I'm here, I can talk a little bit about regional differences, because I've played through this game so many times in the US and a few times in the Japanese version. In the Japanese version, it wasn't called Bionic Commando, it was called Top Secret something something Hitler. In case you couldn't guess, it was about resurrecting Hitler. We will Sorry for those of you who haven't played through the game, I just ruined the surprise ending. Post-fax warning alert, I guess. Spoiler alert. This is one of those areas where reading while playing can be done. I made the mistake of doing it on that earlier platform where you're kind of more of a sitting duck. You don't have as much room to roll around. I just want to get one more life bar before I get out of here. Yeah, Nexus Creed, but my 8-year-old's never seen the ending before, so I just spoiled it for him. There we go. Alright. Get out of there. I can hear commentary from the other room. So the one thing I didn't realize while watching other people stream is exactly how delayed the stream signal is from real life. It's a solid 15-30 seconds depending. In most cases, here's another secret to the game. In most cases, the generator room, like fighting anything in it, is optional. We'll see that as I go on. There's a couple of annoying boss fights that I'll just skip. Life recovery pills, which are your best friends for the remainder of the game. There's a couple areas you'll have to go in without them. Here we're going to get the flare so that we can light up level 4. In the Japanese version of the game, this guy actually tries to stab you, and if you shoot at him, it'll kick off the neutral zone alert, and all the anti-hostility people will come in and shoot you. This flare is actually entirely optional. I used to be good enough at this game that I would just go through level 4 in the dark and keep the energy recovery pills, but don't have enough practice to try doing that this time. Like I said in the description, it's going to be a defensive playthrough. And in light of that, I'm going to go chase a truck before I go to level 4. So... here we go, now it's time to play regular Commando, but with a life bar. So again, if you haven't played this game, those little eagle logos, whatever, that you pick up, medals, they get you a continue. So it's always good to have at least one of those in reserve in case you screw up. I'd love to make this a no continues run. Basically, one mistake in a few of these levels will wipe your life reserve out super fast, so I'm not going to make any promises there tonight. I said I wasn't going to do this without the flare, but you can see that you can see quite a bit of the level, even though it's dark. And here there's a guy, so you can shoot him. I'll just have the flare in reserve. Some of this communication text is like instructional exposition. Some of it is actually pretty good story plot. Yeah, that's one reason why you want the flare is you can't see these guys. So if I were playing this the way I played it 30 years ago, I would have fought this guy, but like I said, this fight is completely optional. Until that happens. Now once he's on this side of you, it becomes a joke. I've wanted to dress up as this guy for Halloween pretty much ever since this game came out. It is a dream of mine that I've not fulfilled. Now again, like I said, I'm going to talk about differences between the US and the Japanese version. In the Japanese version, you can't actually get through this area until you get the flamethrower. In the US version, I don't know why they changed it. But when you shoot, the barrier that requires the flamethrower just disappears. It's worth getting this communicator because it unlocks communication in the last 3 levels of the game. And then you don't have to backtrack for it. So here's the anti-hostility armed forces. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go for the full NES green. I would probably try to make it look like army fatigues. I asked my wife if she would make me a bionic arm and she declined. She's a mechanical engineer. I mean, not a fully functional one, just, you know, one that looked the part. So this is the first vertical level, and the only reason you've got the wide cannon here really is to pick off stuff that's coming down from above you. I'm sure you could talk about studies in level design, and this is one that kind of teaches you the difference in length when you're clawing upwards versus clawing at a diagonal. And I noticed last night the wide cannon also goes through barriers, which is kind of interesting. Remember that this comms room is completely optional. You just have to go into it to unlock the stage scroll. And I really want this, like, backpack helicopter thing these guys have got going on. As a kid, I thought it would be really cool to have a bionic arm. As a 40-year-old, my shoulder says no. So here's going to be a little spaceship. I used to think this thing had a face on its upper right. Clearly I was wrong. The safest place to take that thing out is along the upper platform, but I went for speed this time. And now we've got the best weapon in the game, which you pretty much exclusively use from here on out. Thanks, buddy. Oh, I love this communicator. It matches my outfit. I think this guy might actually try to fight you. Maybe not. Nope. The meanest thing anybody's ever said to me. This guy is completely optional. He just teaches you a good life lesson, kind of like, you know, remember your mantra. Don't have negative thoughts. I think this one is the slime level. And here we need to switch to the green communicator. Basically, if you look in order, the first 3 levels use this one, then the next three use one I don't have yet, and the last 3 use the 4th one. Yeah, slime level. They use the slime to greater effect in later levels in the game. And if you haven't heard some of the remixes of this music, it's really good if you like 8-bit Capcom stuff. I want to know where they found all these little people, really muscular little people, to drive these tank crane things. I believe this is a non-optional communicator here. Yeah, it's non-optional, so if you forget the green communicator when you come in, you are out of luck. And here we're getting into advanced Spider-Man technique. A couple of those chutes take you to places you just don't want to go to. I really like, let's show them what the second platoon can do. I'll show you what I can do. I'll just chill on past you guys. Throw a rocket in a few of your guys' faces. 2 shots here. Oh, 3, maybe. Good job, guys. All of those dudes are going to get really negative performance reviews this year. So the pendant we just got, it's kind of mysterious when you see it in the inventory. It lets you take 1 hit without losing a life piece. Now, here's where you want to slow down when the ground starts to shake. These things are instant kills, if I remember right. They just telegraph quite a bit, so I've never really fallen into their trap. It took me the longest time to figure out these floating things were like butterfly moth deals. Because when I saw them as a kid on a CRT, I thought it was open mouth facing the screen. Hello. And here's where the bads get really tricky. This elevator looks safe. Oh no. It's not. This becomes a checkpoint for this level, so I come in and say blah de blah de blah. Oh yeah, they had to open a door here too, so that was non-optional. Well, up above there is what I call the advanced player's room. You can grapple through the wall and climb up from the bottom. But I failed, so I don't get to show it to you tonight. This little area gives me palpitations every time I do it. At this level of life bar, if you screw up, you're pretty much dead. Another one of these guys, but with the rocket launcher, he's a joke. Bye-bye. I mean, they are called the bads, so yeah, I mean, they do things like create 3-foot-long moths and those weird, very active Venus flytraps. I'm gonna call this basically the halfway point of the game, getting past this level. So this barrier here requires the rocket launcher. There we go. But there's a bunch of jumps here which can sink your playthrough if you don't get them right. This part, oh my god. That part is not the hard part. Now we're at the hard part. This is where the game is like, okay, have you practiced? So far, so good. This was a controller throwing session when I was a kid. And here, you want to... Man, I'm hoping I'm doing this right. The safe way is to make it so that you're just slightly left of the center of the spotlight, so that you fall to the left after you get on top, and then you hook over to the thing on the right. This is where I could start dumping lives. Let's see what happens. Oh my god. Well, so much for a no continue run. I got through that on the first try last night. Yeah, if this thing supported save states, I would be tempted to use them. All right, there we go. And it's pretty straightforward from here, which is a terrible thing for me to say. And there's a lot of cheating you can do. I think the level's meant for you to go, all the way across, but you can hack through the wall like this. So much for trying not to get hit by that thing. I needed to get some retribution. Wholly optional to kill that guy, but whatever. Real quick, I'll show you how you take this guy out, but I think there's only one fight with him you have to actually do. So you just drop from the ceiling. And as you're dropping, give him one in the face. You know, I never thought of Donkey Kong bads, but that's pretty accurate. So did they mix, I guess, gorilla genes with regular humans? So some of the hand holding they do, they won't let you go to area 8 until you go to 14 and get the correct communicator. It'd be nice if they blocked you from going to levels 2 through 3 that way, but they don't. Oh yeah, and you need the permit from this level that we just got to get into this area. That guy becomes a barrier if you don't have it. I think over here we're going to have a skill room. And I call it a skill room, so there's a bunch of bullets in it, and the goal is to collect them all before the timer expires. There we go. 2 for 2. I don't know, I really like jamming to this elevator music on the... I picked the right communicator. Didn't pick the communicator yet. Great music here too. This is the last stage that I played last night. There's a certain way to go through the various elevator chambers and avoid some of the nastier jumps. You have to go to this one communicator room that's in the yeah, it's in here. It's at the top of a larger area. This one is required to open the boss room door. The other communicator room is optional and gives you hints as to where Super Joe is. The hints are mostly there for story exposition. You have to play through every stage in the game to beat it, so it's not particularly useful. Oh, and this communication is great because he's telling you the communicator you just got, which you wouldn't be able to talk to him if you didn't have it, can be useful in the other 2 areas adjacent. When you wiretap, you run the risk of sounding an alarm. So I always shoot right after doing a wiretap, but I don't quite know what the logic is for the alarm going off. This guy's really clever. We have to do 2 communication rooms, but I think the other one's at the top of this door, so that's fine. Yep. Yeah, there's definitely RNG. I just can't... It seems like the RNG is less favorable as you go through the game. So ladder rooms are a lot more likely to kick off the alarm. See, here's another guy who's going to get a bad performance review. This one's mostly a mess just because I can't see everything with all the sprites on screen at once. Now, I don't remember if there's anything interesting at all in Neutral Area 19. These boots, I believe, make it so your swing kicks can kill enemies, but your swing kicks can already, like, stun them. It's not, oh yeah, this is the guy that will stab you. If you shoot him, the neutral zone guards will come out, but you just do that and give him a bath. This one, I don't think I'm going to be able to... Yeah, I just screwed that up. Well, bad skill room. Oh, and this guy will just attack you. This is a very violent neutral zone. So yeah, this one's completely useless. Time to make up for that continue I used. And you'll see with Bazooka, this area becomes trivial. Sorry. I can't remember if this is the rocket launcher or the Bazooka. They have the same sprite, and you get one at the end of the game. Max level? Good question. I think it maxes out at 8 bits. So once you get to 255 experience. So that would probably be 8 life bars? 8 life hits or whatever. That's a life goal right there, obtaining a 3-way. It's actually a flamethrower, but for whatever reason it got translated to 3-way. and it is pretty much useless other than breaking down the barrier in level 7. So this guy, if I said this in the right inflection, it could take on a more interesting tone. Anyways, in the Japanese version of the game, there is 2 guys in this room, a whatever Federation soldier and this guy, and you have to torture him by hitting him with your claw. If you shoot him, the Federation soldier will make some like shocked announcement about, you know, what have you done? But in the correct thing to do is just whack him like that with your claw, and then he'll tell you that little secret, and that'll open up the passages between the 2 levels. And this guy is useless. Thanks, friend. Now, if I wanted to, I could go through here. It's a special overhead stage like the truck stages. I get continues, etc., etc. You also get a helmet, which is like the pendant, but takes 2 hits instead of 3. We're going to get a bulletproof vest later in the game, which, excuse me, takes 2 hits instead of 1. We'll get a bulletproof vest later that takes 3 hits. So there's no real point in running through the 1714 or the 1815 tunnels unless you're really trying to be a completionist. No, I'm stuck with this stupid thing. At least it looks cool. So it's the second most powerful weapon in the game. And it's somewhat useful. It doesn't penetrate like the wide cannon does, but it does shoot straight above, so if there's enemies coming in from the top, it can help with that. But the bazooka is just so much stronger. Anyways, I'll play through the game the way the developers intended. Because you can just blow out the barrier and come back. In the Japanese version, the barrier stays and you're required to use this to complete the level. I just really like picking on these little guys. Did you see that? My little pendant rejected a bazooka to the chest. A tank shell, basically. This is my favorite contraption right here. Imagine they went through all that effort to make those giant Donkey Kong dudes, and they must have also engineered all these guys to fly in these little tank or helicopter things. The annoying thing is that they prevent you from climbing. So this area here is more claw practice, and I would 100% save state there if I could, because it is annoying to make a mistake. You can't die, you just waste a ton of time. Quote Metal Gear Solid and call these guys les enfants terribles. Ugh. Oh, that's so infuriating. I didn't have my cross anymore to protect me from that tank shell. The annoying thing is they don't go low enough that you can hit them with the bazooka. And they spawn so frequently. Alright. Let this guy's bullets go away, so we have to repeat this again. Oh, thank God. And now it's time to give this guy a little hot pad to his face. Judging from the minimal area in which you can hit this guy, I'm guessing his human mouth is his weak point. Did the engineers like run out of time to engineer a non-human mouth for this guy? Yay, heartfelt reunion. So if you're into the whole Commando canon, this guy right here is the main character from the original Commando game. Master D, not Hitler. Here comes the epic plot twist. We thought we were just here to defeat Albatross, but turns out we've got to stop Master D. And let's go get Super Joe's amazing weapon, which I'm going to collect because you can't actually get past the barriers to the next level without it, but it is pretty much useless in this game. I wasn't paying attention to what they said, but I'm pretty sure he said I need to talk to Destroyer 3. Everybody else is selling you phony guns. I do have need for a machine gun, but I'd like to buy my machine gun from a more reputable seller. Yes. Yeah, Master D is a pretty sweet name. That's probably Hitler's rap name. Alright, before I forget, let's go back to the best weapon in the game. I mean, I'll show the machine gun off for a little bit. It's, you know, a little bit therapeutic. They released a remake of this for Steam and PlayStation 3 called Bionic Commando Rearmed, and every one of the weapons has been re-engineered. The machine gun's actually quite fun with that because it just sprays bullets, and it does a ton of damage. But then you have to cool it down. The bazooka is slightly less powerful. It has a slower refresh rate, and it also doesn't penetrate, as I recall. Oh, and they have a shotgun instead of the wide cannon, and that thing's pretty fun. You can get upgrades for every one of the weapons. So now we have to go to that thing that Super Joe told, or not Super Joe, Destroyer 3 told us to get. And most of these levels have a lot of, if you screw up, you're gonna burn a continue at this point. This one's not so bad. The next one, it's like another kind of disposal area with a bunch of fire pits, is pretty infuriating. Here we get into the advanced slime mechanics. Given that I just, you know, if I'd played the game correctly, would have just gotten this communicator, I suspect it's expected. Hal becomes a woman in the remake. Becomes a chopper pilot named Haley. Such a great plan. So here, yeah, you have to jump on, you know, sort of like the Indiana Jones ending. Ooh. Last Crusade is what I meant. It's been so long since I've done this wrong, but I'm pretty sure that door doesn't open. And if that really were the case, that would suck having to wait for those things to kill you. If the bazooka was developed at HAL Laboratories, that explains why it works so well. Oh yeah, this is an area if you really wanted to do a no-continue run, you could recycle this level a bunch and farm one-ups. But that's kind of cheating. So this next stage that we're going to is where we'll get the bulletproof vest, and then we're in for the end run to find out who Master D is, and see if there's any more plot twists waiting for us. Yeah, this is probably my least favorite level in the game. So, you really have to go along the wall here, I think. Or you can try a risky technique, which is to do that. Those guys punch you if you get close enough to them. And this is my favorite comm room in the game. I won't worry about anything. This generic soldier's got it under control. Thanks, Hal. But specifically the wiretapping part here. Little exposition to... Nope, never mind. Wrong room. Oh yeah, this one's fun too, though. Who let Hal get the bazooka? So my favorite comm room must be in Area 12 then. And this is where stuff gets real. If you screw up here, you die. And I don't have any more pills at the moment, so if I die I have to repeat the bulk of the level, which is not fun. The trick here is to relax your jumping just a little bit, but if you relax it too much, you end up down there, and that's that. Oh, hell no. This is how Nintendo made games, well, how Capcom specifically made a game Nintendo hard. Extend your runtime by making you do the same thing over and over again. Perfect. At least I continue from here, that's nice. A small blessing. And I've got lots of extra lives, so that's good. Deep breath. The penitent man will pass or something. And there we go. I don't know what exactly this guy's commanding. It's like, go lasers, go! Keep going back and forth on those tracks, lasers. And it's time to stop Generalissimo Kilt from resurrecting Master D, and then we can beat Albatross. Yeah, you can't extend the bionics, you have to drop for a bit. And here we got our cool last stage music, which pretty much repeats through most of the level. There's some trap rooms in here where you get into a non-avoidable fight with that chubby guard with the bionic claw. Hal is freaking out about something. Hopefully I can remember which rooms those are, because fighting those guys is super annoying. From here on out, like, you're timing yourself against the sparks. It's a little easy in this part because you have enough headroom, but you can see the gaps getting smaller. I used to entertain myself by playing around with those. Yep. I expected that at some point. You'd think holding a bionic arm to a metal pole that has live electricity running through it would be bad for your health. But who am I to judge? Thanks, Joe. This is my favorite exposition, just because it's like so simple and so sweet. Super Joe is just such a badass Ramboing out over there. So I'm pretty sure this room here is the unavoidable boss fight. If you go, it's completely optional to do, so it's basically a trap. And from here on out is where I'm just gonna have to take damage. So back to our funhouse. That's probably not the speedrunner's way of getting through the funhouse. Going back up this is nice and easy. Or not. That's what I get for opening my mouth. We've got one last set of annoying jumps and we're done. Well, not really a jump so much as it is claw from hell. So if you get too high up into the wall, you kill your forward momentum. So you have to drop just a little bit, otherwise you'll just end up going vertical. So here we are, General Kilt, and I'm guessing that's Master D. The Albatross. It is not necessary to wait for Master D. I haven't practiced German accents in a while, so I'm gonna stop. What? Ah! Here comes Master D. Kilt thought he could kill him, but Kilt got Kilt. And here comes definitely not Hitler. You damn fool! Shocked when I saw that as a kid. But that's not the most shocking thing in the game. Here comes some more lazy engineering. No, that wasn't Hitler, that was Master D. He just looks a lot like Hitler. Just FYI, another regional difference between the Japan and the US version of Bionic Commando. In the Japanese version, that was Hitler. Last thing to note, here's our friend Hal, who, despite standing upright and looking totally fine, is dying. And a great translation error here. I take this bazooka. Aim at the cock pit as you jump. You can do it! So if you were using any other weapon, you would get the bazooka / rocket launcher sprite for your attack. And you get one shot here. If you do not make the shot, you die. So we'll see if I get it on the first time, but I've got plenty of lives left. And I failed. Good thing those machine guns kill you fast. Oh yeah, if you skip Hal here, the rocket launcher will not work. And you can skip Hal by going over his head. I've tried all this stuff when I was a kid. Alright, there we go. Your number's up, monster! You don't belong in this world! Die, monster! Oh no, the base is gonna explode. We better get out of here. And this guy wants to fight one more time. Have a good time, buddy. See you later. This is like... Did I remember to close the garage door? And here comes our useful friends, the two idiots. Man, this part looked so cool when I was a kid on a CRT. Oh no, they're dead. Oh wait, they're alive. Man, I remember when this happened back on April 7th, 1989. I was very young then. I felt different as I received the blessings from my comrades. But I didn't want to talk about it. It was a different time then. Mr. FF, they call him that because he's not very professional when flustered. Now, so much time has elapsed since 1989, and I'm old now. '2010, if I remember right. Yep. Anybody who was alive in 1989 was old by 2010. Oh, what a beautiful story. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Alf was still a thing back then. And I might have actually liked watching it back then too. Nope, that's it. Bionic Commando. Sorry I didn't show you the one little secret where you can get the helmet, but that's pretty much everything you can do in the game. Oh, let me play with my OBS controls here. Look at that. I've screwed this up a little bit, but cool. That was fun. A nice change of pace. I would have rather watched James maybe, but dude, I totally appreciate both of you coming here. This is not going to be my new career, but I thought it would be a fun little thing to do, and maybe I'll do it again. Awesome. Let me see if I can do it, James. Bye!